Hey, Godfather of Anxiety here. Just wanted to do another short video. This is just going to be more of a fun video. Um, I feel like one of the things that, we can use as a distraction maybe when we're going through some mental health issues and as an escape can be movies. And I had already done a video with some of my favorite mental health movies. But I was just going to do a quick list of just some of my favorite movies. And, some of this is just going to be just what I like. Some of it's going to be, lines that I think are really impactful and maybe do tie into mental health somewhat. But it's basically just a fun video, guys. I'm not a movie critic, rather, or a music critic. And, this is just basically a fun video I'm doing. There's been a lot going on lately personally. So, and again, if you guys like these videos, I'll make more of them. And if not, it's not a problem at all. So one of my favorite movies of all time is The Matrix with Keanu Reeves. And there's some really good lines in the movie. One of my favorite ones, Lawrence Fishburne's line, Morpheus, where he says, there's a difference between knowing the path and walking the path. Now, that is incredibly true, right? And it's very, very important when it comes to dealing with our mental health issues that we actually do force ourselves to do, obviously along with getting treatment and everything, but action is so important. And one of the worst things for anxiety spectrum disorders is inaction or idle hands. Also, there is no spoon. Another one of my favorite lines in the movie. Basically, you had to realize that this was not actual air you're breathing. The spoon wasn't actually being bent. It was your mind that you were using to control this, this computer program. So that is, I think really important as well to realize how much our minds affect reality. And then that goes right to another line I love from that movie: the body cannot live without the mind. And it's so true. Our minds are very powerful. And, when it comes to having mental health issues, that's why this can be such a challenge, right? Because, sometimes the gray matter is pretty messed up. We struggle, focusing on what's important, what's in front of us. And instead we get caught in a matrix, if you will, in our own minds. So that's just one of my favorite movies, and those are some of my favorite lines from that movie. Another one of my favorite movies, guys, is The Shawshank Redemption. Amazing movie, amazing screenplay, amazing acting. Morgan Freeman, Timothy Robbins are just amazing in that movie. And again, there's some really good lines, I think, especially when we're really battling things, right, with our mental health, like get busy living or get busy dying. That's gosh darn right. Sometimes that's what it comes down to, right? So, it's when you have these fight or flight chemicals kind of keeping you imprisoned, it helps you to realize when you do have a chance to take action, when you do have a chance to do something about it, you have to. And every day, every minute is precious. And live in the now, right? So You know, get busy living or get busy dying. I actually have several t-shirts and stuff with that motto on it, because it's, like I said, I think it's a really important thing to understand about life. Another one that does not have any deep meaning, but I mean, really, how often do you look at a man's shoes? So that's a really good line, you know, as far as how Annie Dufresne was able to walk through the prison without being spotted, even though he had the warden's shoes on that were freshly polished. And then Morgan Freeman, when he's sitting before when his character Red is sitting before the parole board. I mean, there's so many good lines in this movie, but when he says, you know, that young kid is all gone and this old man is all that's left. So go ahead and stamp your paper, Sonny, because I don't give a. And it's a really good line. And he had just gotten to the point where, you know, he didn't care. He was just going to be completely honest with the parole board. He didn't expect anything good to happen. So he just laid it all out on the line. And that's a great scene in the movie. Another one of my favorite movies, A Few Good Men, Jack Nicholson, obviously Tom Cruise. Rob Reiner did a great job directing the movie. There's no shortage of great lines in the movie. You know, the most famous one, everyone knows that one. You can't handle the truth, right? But, you know, there's other good lines. I like when Demi Moore's character is asked why you like them so much. And when she says, because they stand on a wall and they say nothing's going to hurt you, not on my watch. Really good line. Really good, you know, showing that the unselfish nature of those people and the jobs that they have protecting other people is why she was so vehement and adamant about defending these Marines. Another one too, when Tom Cruise's character says, you don't have to wear a patch on your arm to have honor. And, you know, even though these two soldiers were being dishonorably discharged, they had shown more, you know, that they were beyond, even more than redeemable. They were actually really honorable men, especially Harold. And that's why he chose to be in the Marines in the first place. So no, just some really good lines. Another movie, Mel Brooks, Young Frankenstein. It's a classic movie. It's hilarious. If you like Mel Brooks, I know some people don't. If you like Mel Brooks movies, you'll love Young Frankenstein. And if you saw the old Frankenstein movies that it's spoofing, it makes it even funnier. It's funny either way, but if you know the movies that it's spoofing, it's a masterpiece. So some of my favorite lines from that movie, you haven't even touched your food. And then he goes, there, I touched it. Gene Wilder, hilarious. Another one, when he asks whose brain he put in the monster, he says, Abby someone. And he is, Abby someone. Abby normal. It's, again, you have to see this movie. If you're a comedy fan, especially a Mel Brooks fan, it's, you know, again, I'm dating myself. I realize a lot of the people that tune into the channel are going to be in a younger demographic, and that's fine. Still, you will laugh. You will laugh at that movie. It is hilarious. Some other of my favorite movies, Arsenic and Old Lace with Cary Grant. It's just an extremely old movie, but it stands the test of time. It is an amazing comedy. You may have never seen Cary Grant quite like that before. It's hilarious. They take something that's morbid and crazy, and they make a brilliant comic masterpiece out of it. And that's another one of my favorite movies. Another favorite movie I have is Good Will Hunting. Again, Robin Williams in that movie, I mean, he's just a genius. You know, guys, we know that he battled mental health issues and, you know, ultimately did end up taking his own life. But what a genius. What an absolute genius. His mind was working 2 or 3 times faster than anyone else's. And in that movie, he had some great lines. I gotta go see about a girl. I mean, that's a great line, right? And then I like when he's talking to, you know, Will Hunting, and he says, you know, we get to choose who we let into our weird little worlds. And boy, that's so true, right? And as far as talking about intimacy and, you know, how that's what makes someone close to us, that we know all of those weird little idiosyncrasies, and we're the only one that knows that. You know, there's some really good things about being in a monogamous relationship with somebody. The exclusivity is incredibly romantic and endearing, and it bonds us together, right? So, but yeah, love that movie as well. You know, probably you guys will catch on that, you know, a lot of the movies I like, a lot of the, probably even some of the music I like, which covers a wide range of genres, has a lot to do with about underdogs, about people coming up and achieving. I think that when you have determination, you have a good plan. I think the most dangerous person is a person with a chip on their shoulder. And, you know, you tell somebody they can't, you know, maybe they'll fold the tent up and lay down, but that's never how I've been. That's almost like a guarantee that it's going to happen if you tell me that I can't, at least if I believe it's a noble endeavor. And a lot of the entertainment, both movies and music that I enjoy, have to do with that theme. And I think all of us, have a little bit of a soft spot for the underdog, you know? So, I mean, I think that's why the biblical story of David and Goliath is still popular, you know, thousands of years later. So it's just a fun video that I made that certainly didn't want to be very serious. As far as the channel goes, I do have an interview that I have to reshoot because I'm technologically stifled. So I'm going to be doing a reshoot. I plan on having some more interviews coming up. I also, guys, I'm working on improving the quality of my videos as well as my thumbnails. Some of the thumbnails that are getting put out by the algorithm are pretty crazy. So again, I thank you so much for the engagement. Guys, if you know anybody, this is just a fun video, but if you know anybody who's enduring anxiety, any anxiety disorder, panic disorder, social anxiety disorder, intrusive thought, obsessive compulsive disorder, whatever it might be, have them check out some of the videos on the channel. I think there's a lot of good content on my videos, and I think it's really important for people to realize that they're not alone, that this is definitely a difficult thing to deal with when your own mind is the enemy, so to speak. So to know there's other people battling it, and there's other people not just battling it, but beating it, you know? Does it go away maybe completely? Maybe not, but you can still have a productive life. You can still recover from it, especially if, you know, if you put in the work and you do the therapy. And really, that's all I want people to see. I want people to be hopeful. I don't want people to lose years of their lives to anxiety disorder. I don't want people, even worse if you're clinically depressed. We know where that can take people. We can lose people like that, right? And if there's anything I can do to ever help people see that that is not the wise course, and that these things will get better, and that you're not the only one out there with the condition. You know, you're not alone on an island. You feel like it, but you're not. If I can get a few, even just one person, but if I can get some people to realize this and to get help from a mental health professional, to tell a family member, to get it out in the open so they can work through it, then that makes me happy. That's the entire reason I started the channel. And but guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and until my next video, take care.